Have y'all ever seen a goal with no backboard? Right there. That shit kind of crazy, right? So no excuses though. There's somebody out here who's probably hooping and they ain't got no backboard, but they gonna use that. They still getting buckets. Either way it goes, celestial rising, divine afternoon, and grand night to the beautiful deity watching this video. Understand today, we got some more gematria breakdowns. We got more things to expose because, of course, I live in Georgia as well, so I am affected by this also. And we got 13 minutes on the clock too because, of course, you know, we got to edit this, and I got things to do afterwards. But understand, and of course, I'm gonna have the geometry codes on the screen, so like right over here. But so Conyers Biolab equals 666 in reverse satanic and gematria, and then the Conyers, I think it was Conyers Biolab. If I had that screenshot right. Let me make sure it's on my iPad. If I don't, oh well. But, yeah, I don't think I got it. But the Conyers Biolab, I think that's what it is, it equals 1318. But either way it goes, that 1318 is, so if you put the 13, so remove the 18, put the 13 right there. That 13 is a representation for Luciferian agendas and their upheaval for their rebellion against rebellious entities that are rebelling against them, against these higher orders. And the thing is, too, the 666 indicates as a symbolism through occultism. So meaning that occultic practices or manipulators, they'll use 666 as a mockery to place different spells and different transformations for change, because change is to come. So recently, Dikembe Mutombo, you know, ascend in peace, by the way, but he died at 58. If you put Dikembe Mutombo in gematria, his name equals 58, meaning that his life was scripted to die at 58 years old. The lady, I think her name was Maggie in Harry Potter, the old lady, by the way. Rest in peace to her soul as well. She did transcend, but her name also equals up to, I think it's 666. I had to find her gematria screenshot, but I'm gonna put it on the screen as well. But all these different deities that we looked up to, that we idolize, they're getting sacrificed by these higher orders. And the thing is, too, all this aligns in the moment right now. That's how deep this simulation gets, because the simulation gets so deep and it gets so wicked and sinister to the fact that many people don't understand that they are meant to be sacrificed for a higher scripted reality that is programmed and entertained by Nephilim. So these Nephilim, these principalities, they are basically mocking us every single day. And because of that too, the biolab that happened in Conyers, which is not far from me, but because that happened, we don't actually know what happened inside, because I don't see any workers talking about what happened inside of the what's the word I'm looking for, inside the building basically. But the thing, because they exploded, we don't know what they were doing behind closed doors. So because of that, it's a part of a Luciferian agenda that we don't understand, that we can't comprehend. And the thing is too, we got to understand also that they probably could have been engineering humans. They could have been siphoning consciousness. Not only that, they're meant to control our mindset. That's all this is. It's global domination. It's a mindset. It's a psychological warfare. So we're literally living in a spiritual warfare in World War III right now. We're actually experiencing World War I, World War II, and World War III all combined together, because World War I, World War II didn't exist in the past. They're existing right now. But on this spiritual warfare, you got to understand as well. So we just got hit with a hurricane modification, meaning that they modify our weather. So as you can see in the air right here, we got clouds, so different cloud programs that you are able to witness. Excuse me. For one, these are not natural clouds, but they're able to seed the clouds to control your mind and poison your liver, your lungs, your kidneys, your heart, all of that, because you're aging slowly. That's exactly why we're not supposed to be breathing in carbon dioxide anyways. But they're putting these things in the air because they want you to rot inside out. That's exactly why we age or we get old. That's why these entities, they stay young by consuming our blood at a young age, because we have the most adrenaline when we're living in fear or survival and trying to escape from their survival tactics. Now, we gotta understand as well, the more things that will happen in this timeline, this simulation, they're going to keep getting sinister and more dark. Because for one, the one thing that many humans in their consciousness, the one thing that they want is peace. But how can you have peace with no chaos? That makes no sense to me. Meaning that, for one, you're not going to live in a world with just peace, because, for one, you wouldn't be a human being if you just live in a world full of peace. You have to have the chaos to combat and balance itself out in this simulation that we live in. Not only that, our almighty observer is showing you through gematria, because, for one, Almighty God will speak through math. It speaks in numbers. ABC equals 1, 2, 3. Because of that value, that Conyers Biolab equaling 666 is an indication to where, for one, you live in a realm in Satan's dominion and Lucifer's enlightenment. Because you live in Lucifer's enlightenment, you are basically understanding that no matter what, the Almighty Observer has given free reins for Lucifer to do whatever he or she wants. Because, for one, the Almighty God's going to do whatever it wants because it can. Who's going to stop Almighty God from doing what Almighty God wants to do? not a human being, obviously. So a human being has to sit there and watch, and you have to adjust, and you have to either suffer or going to have to stay strong, and you have to figure out what you got to do to save your family and yourself as well. Because not only did they hit you with the modification of the weather control, because the weather is controlled every single day, obviously, because even in Georgia, we have a dark cloud over our head every single day because we live on a 33rd parallel. By us living on a 33rd parallel, that's letting you know that basically our state is branched off from Atlantis, because Atlantis was so massive. When Atlantis was, what's the word I'm looking for? When Atlantis was destroyed by a meteor, when it was destroyed by higher enlightenments or higher entities, they destroyed that landmark, and the landmass decided to branch itself out so that the beings that were still alive, they were able to maneuver and adjust to a different terrestrial lane or plane of existence that we call America, ancient Babylon, ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, whatever the case may be. So when they did that, they not only drowned a lot of our homes, they cut off our power, majority of it, no water, no food. Some people don't have financial support. They don't have a car. They don't even have a job anymore. So if you cut out all 8 of these things from a human being's consciousness, now you have way more control. Not only that, we still got this whole Diddy situation going on. People are still infatuated by, not knowing that Diddy's the middleman for higher entities that were doing the exact same thing that they taught him to do. So he's a scapegoat for a sacrificial lamb, meaning that he would basically be Jesus to a bunch of Luciferians. Duh. So he's a part of the satanic order as well, and he has a hand in this as well. Not only that, Trump and Kamala are also satanic puppets also. They all have a hand in this, and they all have a say-so in what is going on and what's about to happen for then in September, October, November, and December. And because of that, these deities, they know how to get you in fear. They know how to control your emotions and your feelings because you're feeling a certain way. So there are some people who still have to find a job. There's some people who need to find a car. There's some people who need to find a house. So not only are you trying to find a house through this hurricane that just passed by our state, but now you just had this biochemical lab experiment explode in our faces, and now there's some people who have to evacuate from their houses or their homes or their area in Conyers or wherever else because the area is too poisonous. They have chlorine and different poisonous gases in the air and shit, and people cannot consume that. So if you can't consume that, and they're telling you to evacuate, now where are you going to evacuate to? Now, so imagine somebody who has no family, no friends. They had everything going great for themselves, but they have no family, no friends to go to. So imagine somebody's house gets flooded, their car gets flooded. They have no power, no water, no food to save because it was obviously drowned by the flood. And then they're telling you to evacuate your home that you don't have. So where can you evacuate yourself to? So now we're going to have a bunch of homelessness in our state, not only our state, but other like Tennessee, Florida, Texas. Like there's many different things that are happening, different storms, just different distractions that are happening every single day. And the thing is too, if you're not in tune with what is going on in the simulation, you're going to kill yourself surely but slowly. That's exactly why they are doing these things to our people, because they are basically telling us, even with this second moon happening, even this eclipse coming up, we're transitioning into a whole different awakening. So you have to shift your mindset from what you used to know into what you know right now, because what do you know right now? You don't know anything right now, but you think you know something right now, but what do you know right now? Because if you know something right now and you tell me about it, that still makes you ignorant, because you shouldn't say a word anyways if you know everything God and Goddess. So because of that, some of people out there who are suffering in Georgia, just understand I'm right here with you, suffering with you as well. That's why I'm making this video, to help you understand too that what they are doing to our people is literally nefarious. It's a nefarious group of Luciferians who are placing spell castings upon our people. And what they're doing, for one, it's all a planned propaganda anyways. They have to plan these different scripts out to avoid their karmic debt. That's exactly why gematria exists for a reason, because for them to communicate with each other, they had to tell you what they're going to do before it happens. And so once it happens, you can't be surprised because they told you. But the thing is though, somebody can say, so wait a minute, they told us and it happened. So why doesn't anything happen to them? Because for one, so for example, if I told somebody I'm going to beat their ass and I beat their ass, but yet they hit me, I'm in self-defense now. But I told that nigga beforehand I was going to beat his ass. But he put his hands on me first. So I'm in self-defense. So therefore, I avoid my karmic debt for beating this nigga's ass because he put his hands on me first. But beforehand, though, I told him I'm going to beat his ass in gematria. Meaning that for one, by me whooping his ass, it was all part of the script, because his ego was going to try to put its hands on me. Because his ego was put into his feelings. It was put into his suffering. It went into his survival mode because it was trying to survive from not getting killed or hit or put into a coffin by me. But now because of that, they're doing the exact same thing to our people, by the way. Let me see what time we got. 2:23, we're good. But because of that, they're basically telling us that, for one, they're mocking us right in front of our face because they're letting you know that many people don't understand what gematria is because they don't want to do their own research because they're afraid to. And on top of that, they don't want to do the research because it takes time. It's time consuming to understand what gematria actually is and what you're learning and how to put the words in, how to put the values of the numbers with the words as well, and how the words add up to what you're living in right now. All these things are a play on the mind. It's a psychological warfare once again, and they're placing this program subconsciously to the point to where you have to scramble, you have to fight for survival. And on top of that too, we're living in an apocalypse time period also because there's some people who are fighting for food and water, shelter, all of that. And there's some people who will rob you and they will kill you. So you have to always be cautious. If you're living in Georgia, be cautious because there's some people who are not in their right mindset because our air is already poisoned to begin with. But now they added more toxins into the air. So imagine you live in a gas chamber. Unconsciously, by the way. So you're born into a gas chamber, not knowing that the air that you're breathing in is literally poisonous. But they say, you know what? They don't know that we actually got more poison for them. So they open up the lid to the firmament. Hey, y'all want some more poison? You said, what? Do we want more juice? Yeah, that's what I said. Y'all want some more? Y'all want something to drink? Yeah, please, man. Thank you. We want some more grace. We want some more gifts. Say less. And you're calling it God. God, thank you for the gift that you're going to, bestow upon me. They add more poison to the thing, and we consider it to be a gift, God's grace. We consider it to be holy, sanctified, all of that shit. Not knowing that they're actually placing more poison into your subconscious mind. So that when you receive this with open arms and open hands, you're basically just allowing yourself to be poisoned even more. You're going to kill yourself even more because you're not used to understanding what they are poisoning you with, which is basically your ignorance. So how ignorant are you going to be when this day passes and so on and so forth? Because don't forget, when October hits, oh my God, the thing that you thought was going to happen in September, or what happened from January to September, imagine what happens in October, November, December. You have a rude awakening coming to you if you are not understanding how awake you should be in this time period, because everything that's happening right now is meant to sacrifice our past self, to transform ourselves into a chaotic enlightenment. That's all this is, because a 13 and a 1318 equals the transformation for the chaos to be upheaval or to be appealed by rebellious entities that are rebelling against our consciousness because they don't want you to awaken. So you see that dark cloud right there? There's a reason why the sun keeps coming in and coming out, because for one, the son and daughters of God are spreading awareness, we're spreading enlightenment. So we cannot sit here and be quiet for what they are doing to our people. They are basically killing us surely but slowly through these satanic illusions that we want to call reality, or these different scripts that they are placing into the news. And on top of that too, the news will not tell you what is going on because the news is a part of the programming also. They are not real people. They live for a reason. They're telling you that these celestial deities are subconsciously playing with your mindset to let you know that, hey, we are mocking you and killing you slowly, because on top of that, we're not even alive in the first place. So you're basically watching dead men walking and dead women walking as well, and talking and laughing and vibing on the internet or vibing on TV. No, they're not actually real people, but they're actually holographic simulators or manipulators who are telling you what they're going to do beforehand. And when they tell you, you can't be surprised with who gets killed or who gets sacrificed, because all they're doing is sacrificing people for the betterment of their society. So what will you do in this society, in this reality, or a fallacy? How will you be awakened in a fallacy that you call reality? Have a great day, God and Goddess.